All right, quick update here. Kind of like this. I got the carb and the magneto and even the kicker just sitting there. They're all kind of just loosely mounted. Nothing's final, but I'm trying to figure out how I want to run this exhaust. And here's the thing. I've got this just gorgeous single down tube frame that curves around underneath the motor. It's just beautiful. I mean, that's why I got that frame. And when you think about it, the way you'll see it most when the bike's, just sitting there on the stand like it is now, that's when you want to show it off the most in a way. So the question is, where do you run the exhaust? And I keep thinking if I bring the front exhaust down and bring it along here, all I'm doing is hiding that beautiful frame. So that's why I put the carb and the magneto back on, is I want to see if it's possible. Let's kind of set that in there. So can we run the exhaust down through there, more or less in the same spot that the crossover tube was on the stock? And I think that's what I'm going to try. Well, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and we do it over. But that's going to be the first target. Got these. This is my soon-to-be flanges. Got Dan welded these up for me, so I'm just going to cut them and shape them, and so we got 2 shots at getting it right. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, starting on the exhaust this weekend. More updates coming. All right, here we go. These are the header pipes that just got done cutting it and smoothing it off and all of that. I could probably dig a little deeper and maybe get a little smoother, but I'm not sure it matters, and I'm not sure it's doing me any good to dig any deeper than it is already. No point in that being pretty, because it's certainly never going to show. And I'm guessing there's going to be enough resilience in the gasket to absorb any irregularities there. So we're going to bolt them up and see what happens. And there you have it. Both exhaust flanges bolted on just like they're supposed to. So now comes the hard stuff. Well, here's what we're getting so far. I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually a whole bunch of pie cuts underneath that tape. And I think we got our angle right. If you look at this thing here, it lines up, and I think we're pretty good. I'm figuring out, I think, the right way to do this. And I think the key to these is just decide what angle you're working with. And what I decided, apparently, 4.5 degrees and 9 degrees, the cut angle, those are the standards. So I just decided, well, let's just pick 9. And I started cutting a whole bunch of pies that are down in here, and they're, angled on both sides, so they're 18 degrees. And then if you look, like the one on the end, to finish a radius, you have to have one that's, in this case, it's 9 degrees on one side, but 90 on the other. It's square, and there's another one up here as well. So, you can just kind of work this stuff. It's pretty easy because, you just start cutting your pies, and then your angle is always the same. So your radius is going to be a function of how wide your pies are. So if you do one and it comes out a little narrow, just cut some pies, same angle, but just a little wider, and that'll extend your radius. And in this case here, I did go ahead and I trimmed off the exhaust flange that we made, but I cut it a little shorter than I wanted, and this whole thing was sort of up too high, so I just cut a little piece and stuck it in there. That one was 90 on both sides, brought it right back out. So it's actually, I shouldn't say this because I'm jinxing myself. I know this is going to get harder before it gets done, but piecing these things together is actually going surprisingly fast. I mean, everything you see here Yeah, it took me an hour. Oh, by the way, the new stainless blade on the cold saw seems to be working well. I've done, I don't know, a few dozen cuts with it so far, and it's holding up just fine. Cuts are coming out pretty clean. I still need to clean them up on the belt sander a little bit, but otherwise going well. So anyway, grandkids are coming over here in a little bit, so I'm gonna knock off for now, and then hopefully. Okay, well, it's Sunday now. Grandkids have come and gone. Didn't get anything left done Saturday night, but came back at it this morning and got this far. You'll notice up here where it comes right out of the head, it's a little different than it looked in the earlier segment where it was all taped up. I started looking at that and I realized, you know, it was coming out and it was in front of it was hiding the down tube. And the whole point of this is to make sure that down tube stays nice and visible. So I reworked that a little bit, and you know, the same thing I was talking about before. Just cut your pies, work your angles. You can rotate these as you go to kind of massage how it goes, and so on and so forth. I'd originally thought I was going to run it a piece sort of straight across back here, and I started looking, and I don't know if you can see it over here. That's the intake, the fuel intake for the carb, and it just seemed like a basically good idea to get the pipe away from that a little bit. So ran it down and over and all that. It's all tacked up, and that is the current state of things. So anyway, okay, I keep thinking I'm done recording, but then I do some more stuff and need to update it. Okay, so anyway, I went ahead and mocked up going all the way out, you know, just on the front pipe. Just wanted to see how it looked and just trying to decide if that's what I want to do or not. I think I like it. I'm honestly not sure. I'm going to wait a day or two and just kind of see how it feels after a couple of days and figure it out from there. I did post some of the pictures that I've been taking to the Quad Cam Bastards forum, and there was 2 comments, and I wanted to put up a video to give them a little more info and see if this addresses their concerns or if they're still concerned. The first one was that this is too close to the magneto. And so, you know, you've got that much room in between there. And honestly, I don't know if that's too close or not. If that's not going to work, now's the time to know. The one thing I do note is that, you know, it's actually, this pipe is actually farther away from the magneto than the crossover tube was on the stocker. So, but there does get to be one other little issue that I am going to have to figure out is, I can't really show it here, but I have to get new plug wires because the ones that I've got, I don't think are long enough to reach. Anyway, then the other question was clearing the carb, and I don't know if I can get in here and show this or not. There's, you know, so there's the, man, goodness sakes, it's going to be impossible to see this, I think. Maybe from the other side. You can see the drain plug and the bowl relative to the pipe. I think you can see it in there. Hopefully. So, I don't know. I mean, obviously it needs to be far enough. I just don't know if it is. So, any feedback, give me some comments. Let me know if that's going to work or if I'm cutting this thing up and moving stuff around. All right, now that is really and truly the end of this video.